213 days. 213 days of my life that I have spent playing Skyrim. And you know what? That is 213 days well spent. Absolutely no regrets. Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and this is episode 2 of the Skyrim walkthrough, brought to you by Crazy Kitsune Gaming, who apparently makes really strange rhymes without even meaning to. So, just a quick recap for anyone who didn't watch the first episode. By the way, thank you for all the support on it. It apparently kind of makes up for around 10% of my total watch time. So, yeah, kind of impressive. So basically, last episode, we got caught trying to cross the border into Skyrim, and then these bellends called the Imperials tried to cut our heads off for it, but then this dragon came in and started shagging it all up for them, and then this middle-aged blonde guy named Ralof decided to sort of help us escape during the dragon attack. And that blonde guy named Ralof is a member of this other group known as the Stormcloaks, who are also somewhat bellends, but, you know, they're somewhat decent bellends, at the very least. Now, something I want to do before we get knee-deep into this walkthrough is I kind of want to go ahead and take the difficulty up to Expert. That way, if you do exactly what I do and exactly how I play it, then you will have a certain amount of leeway. We do have quite a few difficulties. We have Taco Sauce for Babies, aka Novice. We have Apprentice, also known as Please Don't Hurt Me. We have Adept, which is also known as a slap in the face, but they also hold your hand a little bit. We also have Expert, which is basically just every single enemy hitting you way harder. We have Master, aka Rip My Tail Off and Shove It Down My Throat difficulty. And we have Legendary, which is just here for people who want to suffer. But, we are going to be sticking on Expert. That way, it's a little bit harder than average, but, it will still be somewhat doable. So, as for our current quest, I have decided that, yes, we are basically going to be going down the main storyline first, but I'll go ahead and probably do most of the other quest lines with this character, you never know. But basically, where Ralof has suggested that we should head to the nearby town of Riverwood, because his sister over there has a lumber mill and she should be able to help us, aka give us stuff. Now, I don't know about you, but I kind of like shiny things. I like shiny things like subscribers and views and watch hours and even comments. But here we'll be getting shiny things like gold. So let's quick save and start following Ralof.
Good luck. I wouldn't have made it without your help today.
Well, why thank you. So yeah, I think he kind of wants us to split up. That's not what we're doing. We are just going to keep on following him. Quite a pretty area we've got going here. Oh yes, by the way, you can pick flowers, and they're actually somewhat helpful.
Go to Windhelm and join the fight to free Skyrim. You've seen the true face of the Empire here today.
Yes, I will absolutely get around to that.
The dragon means it's Ulfric.
Oop, more flowers. Ah yes, so now we have the optional quest to join the Stormcloak Rebellion. Not quite what's on the agenda today, but we will get to it. Oh yes, and we have signs here. I thought I turned off messages. Frosted! You're now in my YouTube video.
See that ruin up there? Bleak Falls Barrow. I never understood how my sister could stand living in the shadow of that place. I guess you get used to it.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool little ruin up there. And we will be visiting it relatively soon. Come on, move your butt, Ralof. We've got things to do. And also, thistles to grab. Thank you.
These are the Guardian Stones. 3 of the 13 ancient standing stones that dot Skyrim's landscape. Go ahead. See for yourself.
Yes. So basically, these stones will, once you activate one of them, then you will have a certain set of skills that will level up faster. So, like, you know how swinging your sword at enemies will increase your one-handed skill, and, you know, roasting them alive with the flame spell will level up your destruction skill? Well, basically, this will make all of that go faster. So, real quick, yeah, I'm gonna have to explain this skill tree in quite a bit of detail pretty soon. So, basically, the skills that fall under the Mage Stone are all of these ones: the illusion, the destruction, the restoration, the alteration, the enchanting. So, say, if you were to go with the Mage Stone, all of those abilities would level up 20% faster. Now, if you went with the Warrior, then all of your smithing, heavy armor, blocking, your two-handed, one-handed, archery, and even your light armor, all of that would level up 20% faster. But say if you went with the Thief Stone, then what you would have leveling up is your sneak, lockpicking, speech, alchemy, all of that stuff, which actually is not quite the biggest set in the world, I realize. So, which one am I actually going to choose? I think... Mage. Yeah. Because here's the thing. It means that both destruction and restoration will be leveling up faster. So it means that we have a skill cover that will increase our damage potential and our ability to survive. And there are just a lot of fun things you can do with magic. It's quite versatile, shall we say. So yeah, we're going to accept it.
Jay. Well, to each his own. It's not for me to judge.
Oh, why thank you, Rayloff. Yeah, they always look so pretty when you activate them. Too bad you hardly activate any of the standing stones ever, really. Like, literally, you use them for the first time and then you just never have to go back to them. Now, I would follow Rayloff just the entire way, but there is a quick little mini dungeon we can do. And let's be honest, this episode is kind of lacking in action so
Remember,
far.
this isn't Stormcloak territory. If we're ahead of the news from Helgen, we should be fine. As long as we don't do anything stupid.
Right.
If we run into any Imperials, just let me do the talking, alright?
Well, Rayloff, you want us to split up earlier, I'm pretty sure, and I kind of want to show off this little mini dungeon. So, I think we've found a wonderful little compromise. Ember Shard Mine. Basically the first dungeon that you run into traditionally. Now, I realize I did not feature any two-handed weapons. Because the thing is, you can hold magic in one hand and then a different weapon in another hand. Or if you wanted, you can even try dual wielding. I might do that for this dungeon. But we never found any two-handed weapons. As their name might suggest, they take up both your hands, kind of like a bow would. But they tend to do some pretty good damage. Hopefully I'll be able to show one off. And yeah, I kind of like how her armor is. And yeah, we have some potions. You know what? Let's use a frostbite venom. My current weapon is already poisoned. Really? Okay. Are you sure about that? Oh, yeah, it is. Oh, okay, well, that's a pleasant little surprise, I guess. So, yes, these enemies, they are basically going to be the most common enemies in the game. Some of them are more aggressive than others, but these guys are the bandits. Now, unlike a lot of enemies that you'll run into in gaming, they actually have quite a different range of abilities and things that they might have benefiting them. Each bandit is a little bit different. And they all are equally knee destroyable. Their knees are very vulnerable. And they're also quite lootable. So, yeah. But yeah, depending on where you go, you can run into a lot of different types of bandits. This one is going to be quite tame, because, you know, it's the first dungeon you run into. But yeah, you can find quite a few different types of nasty bandits. Oh yeah, torches. Yeah, you can actually take these things and they'll make the area darker, which really only benefits your sneaking. And I think you can also equip torches? Oh yeah, you can! Oh, that's cute! Now they do go out eventually, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, you can get a pretty nice little stock of them. Although kind of like... Whoop. Well, that was an interesting trap that didn't do much. But kind of like taking the torches out to make your sneaking easier, if you hold one, it's actually a little bit harder to sneak. Although I think you can actually block with a torch and even bash enemies with it. Yeah, you should be worried someone will wander in.
We have someone standing guard out there. Don't forget the rock trap we picked up.
I mean, the rock trap was
Stop your
kind of
worrying and Get
useless.
some rest. Your shift is coming up, and I don't want you dozing off again like last time.
Okay. Well, as always, quick save. Remember, before any fight, you should probably quick save. Because this game will happily... Oh, cool, sneak level up. This game will happily bend you over in so many different ways, so you may as well take advantage of the quick saving. Can I actually get a sneak attack on this guy? No, I can't. If you actually hit an enemy while they're not noticing you, you actually get a bonus to your damage. There we go. Yeah, that's a cute little bash. Yeah, the fire damage is... it's noticeable. Yeah, it can actually kind of kill every once in a while. Oh, sorry, bud. That's just how kill animations work. Yeah, that whole kill animation feature of the game, here in about 20 level ups, ooh, gold necklace. That's actually really rare to find this early on. Especially off just a normal tier 1 bandit. That's very interesting. But yeah, here in about 20 levels, ooh, grilled leeks, thank you. You will find the kill animation feature a little bit annoying, because enemies can actually use it on you. And I'll explain why it's annoying once we get to around the, I guess, it's not really the terrible 2s, it's the terrible 20s. Once you hit about level 20 in this game, then everything just goes crazy. Ooh, a tattered journal. They've had me working down here for days now. It's not the time that's getting to me, though. It's these tunnels. I've told them countless times now to add extra supports to the weak sections of the tunnel. If only we had more of those wooden beams that we reinforced with bronze bottoms. Interesting. Honestly, if I hear the earth shift one more time above my head, I'll be so stressed I may stop drinking for good. I mean, what's a Nord without his mead? Well, I'll take that, as I can sell it. I think he was kind of right to worry, unfortunately. He probably should have just listened to his instincts. Anyway, I think if we head up here, we can find a nifty frosted again. Yes, we can find a lever. So, yeah. Now, once you pull this lever, we're gonna have just a few enemies come at us. It's nothing too intense. Although I do want to check what's in these barrels. Oh, tomatoes. I mean, tomatoes sell, sort of. And wine. I mean, what's life without tomatoes and wine? So, let's go ahead and pull this. Let's crouch down. Oh, yep, there they come. Okay, so they are searching. Ooh, dear. We have a terrible two-hander. Hold up. No sneak attack, but at least I got close to him. Oh, don't fall in the water. That's annoying. I need your weapon. Ooh, they're swimmers. Okay. I think I will, buddy. Whoop. Well, okay. That was unfortunate. Okay, they're doing a bit of a flanking maneuver. Hold up. Let's get some healing and let's get some burning, shall we? There we go. Yes, my magicka is low. I'm well aware of the fact. I wish it wasn't true, but it kind of is. Whack. Honestly, this might be a bow moment. Yeah, this is looking like a bow situation. Ooh! He ran right into that one. Okay, well that's 2 more bandits dealt with. Let's... Yeah, there we go, a war hammer. Yeah, 2-handed weapons are... Oh yeah, they're so slow. But they can actually deal some pretty satisfying damage. So at least you get some payoff for how long you have to wait before your hit actually lands. Problem is, I just usually prefer being able to hold a spell in my offhand or dual wield. Hello, madam. I shall be here to head bonk you. I am your head bonker today. Oh, yeah, good. We've hit our first level up. We are finally level 2. We are now patent-pounding Paws, the particularly powerful pussycat. When your level increases, you must choose to increase your health, magic or stamina. You can also select a new perk at this time, or save it for later. Available perks are highlighted in each constellation. Okay, so for your first level up, I would always recommend going with health, because health means that all of the other resources you have are that much more useful. Because it means you can live longer to deal out damage, you can actually have more health for when you need to use your stamina to run away from dicey fights. So always start off with health, and try to keep a good stockpile of it. I'll be trying to keep my health for this walkthrough higher than both my stamina and magicka. Yes, I'm sure I want to increase health. Why would I not want to be more tanky? Why is that even a question? So then, we have a lot of choices. Now, you can always save this perk for later, but basically how perks work is you can go into certain skills, like let's say your light armor, and actually pick a different perk that will basically give you a certain bonus that means that you're much better at that skill, like Agile Defender, which means that your armor rating from light armor is increased by 20%. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and grab that right now. Now, to get a new perk point now, we're going to have to level up, which is unfortunate, but thankfully we're still relatively low in level, so leveling up is rather quick. Leveling up will actually take more and more skill increases to actually level up your primary level. So, like, you'll need to get higher and higher in light armor to actually get another level. Now, there are certain requirements for a lot of these perks, like, see, if I want to take this Agile Defender up even higher, because this is one of those you can invest multiple perk points into it and make its effect stronger. But before we can do that, we're going to need to get our light armor up to level 20. Now, that's not going to be very hard because, well, we're wearing light armor, so it shouldn't take too long to actually get these skills up. Because these skills tend to only increase by actually, using them. There are other ways to level up skills, which we'll get into. But yeah, there are a lot of different perks that can make you very, very powerful. Although for this playthrough, I'm going to avoid any damage increasing perks, as I think it just makes the game a little bit too easy at times. So yeah, we're going to be avoiding that. And it makes things harder for me, which thereby means if you follow my exact steps, but, do take the damage increasing perks, it'll be a little bit easier for you. So yeah, let's get into this, or get back into it. I will explain more of those skills as we run into them. But basically, the light armor skill just increases how effective wearing light armor is. Simple as that. Okay, so what is in this little treasure room? Well, we have a spell tome for clairvoyance, one of the most useless spells in the game. But we also have some gold. Oh, and an iron greatsword. So, yeah, not every weapon is as horribly slow as these warhammers. There are some two-handed weapons like the greatsword where you actually still have... It's still pretty slow, but you maintain a tiny bit of speed. Just a tiny bit. Alright, what do you have in the chest? Well, we have something to disenchant. We have another steel warhammer. Don't exactly need another one of those. Ooh, we have a scroll of harmony. Yeah, these scroll thing doohickeys are kind of cool. Basically, most scrolls let you use a very powerful ability, but they are kind of consumed once you use them. So, like, if you were to use this scroll of harmony, then any creature or person that's up to level 12, but not higher than level 12, then if they get affected by it, then they won't fight for 60 seconds, it says. And also, if you don't want to use the scrolls, then, like, they sell for, like, 500 gold. Like, it doesn't matter how low your speech skill is, it's gonna sell for a hefty amount. So, yeah, grab it. And arrows. Never really much of a point in not taking arrows, because they don't actually weigh anything. Doesn't look like they have much in the cell. Oh, wait, no, I missed something. They have a glorious bucket. Oh no, I'm going to feel so bad missing out on a bucket. Alright then. Anyway, we have a few more bandits to tackle. Now, do be careful, because bandits will quite often come in rather large crowds. Ooh, we have some gold up here. Oh yeah, and beds. Yeah, you can actually sleep in beds when enemies aren't nearby. And if you sleep, you'll actually get a temporary experience bonus. So yeah, that can be pretty nice. I wouldn't really recommend sleeping much. It's not that useful of a thing. But I mean, it's something to think about.
Huh?
Uh-oh, she hears me. Is she smart enough to find me? The IQ test begins. Oh, she's... Ah, she forgot about it. She just lost interest. Yeah, you were just hearing things, I'm sure. There's definitely not a cat man with a massive greatsword sneaking around. All in your imagination. Oh, is she gonna body detect me? Yeah, there are a lot of different ways you can be detected. Usually it happens by being heard or seen, but there's also a thing called a body detect, where the enemy didn't actually find you by normal means, but they pressed up against you, and that means that you get detected instantly, and it is so cheap. Because sometimes it feels like the enemy's AI actually knows exactly where I am, and they decide to just walk up and body detect me. Okay. Get a little closer. Little closer. Just a little closer. Bam! There we go. Boosh! Spadoosh! And, yeah, she's, not very good after that. She's having to take a bit of a dirt nap. Oh, hello. Hello. Yes, fun fact, you actually can block even without a shield. It's just not really as effective. Okay, well that was all very effective and efficient. Let's heal up. And, you know what, this guy's using a bow. Let's just kind of prove to him that he is just not worthy of the archery duel. You are absolutely not as good of an archer as me. Okay, I mean, not really proving myself very well here. Okay, that was just, I don't know what I expected from that. There we go. Come on, could we get a good old bell end shot? Ooh, right in the gonads, my favorite. And some leggings. Oof, perfect. And I don't think his arrow even touched. Do I really want to take many torches? I'll probably just sell them off. Actually, is there any merchant who even buys torches? I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, we could take some wine. And, charred skeever hide. Oh yes, how delectable. And also bread. Yes, glorious bread. So much to love about bread. And iron arrows. I think I like iron arrows even more than bread. Now, before we leave, I think, yeah, there's actually one more treasure chest in here. So yeah, now we've basically done our first little mini dungeon. Oh yeah, and there's iron ore here. Yeah, you can actually mine ore, but you need a pickaxe. And, we don't really have a pickaxe, so we're just gonna have to ignore that. Oh, and it's locked. Okay. Ooh, okay. So we're close. There we go. Nice and easy. A hide shield, some gold, and lockpicks. Well, I mean, we need lockpicks to open more chests like that, so I won't say no to those ever. Right then. Now, the good thing about most Skyrim dungeons is they usually give you a pretty convenient way to get out once you've completed it. Like, once you've cleared the last room, there's usually a way to exit it pretty quick. Also, by the way, bone chimes. Yeah, if you run into these things, then they actually generate a bit of sound. And it actually contributes to enemies detecting you. So don't run into bone chimes. Kind of the lesson from that. Okay, so what were we doing eventually? Oh yeah, we were supposed to get to Riverwood. Oh my word, it's almost nighttime now. Okay. Getting a little dark out here. But Riverwood is actually quite close, so maybe we just took a bit of a detour is all. Yeah, that's all we were doing. And it doesn't look like... No, it doesn't look like anything nasty is out here. Okay, it's just gonna be a chill walk to Riverwood at this point. I bet Ralof is probably already talking to his sister at this point. But there we go. Oh wait, no, Ralof, he's still walking over there. Okay. So yeah, let's just follow him then. It's a neat little town. Sadly, we don't really have much to really do here. I mean, I guess I could give a town tour, but like, I mean, you've kind of seen it at this point. But anyway, we will keep on keeping on with Ralof. And we'll just kind of let this cutscene play out. Yes, this is Skyrim cutscenes. They're all pretty much done in the game. They don't really ever take you out of it.
At least now I am.
Are you hurt? What's happened? And who's this? One of your comrades?
Pretty much.
Not a comrade yet, but a friend. I owe him my life, in fact. Is there somewhere we can talk? There's no telling when the news from Helgen will reach the Imperials.
Helgen? Has something happened?
Oh, a lot of something happened.
Right. Follow me. Pod, come here a minute. I need your help with something.
What is it, woman? Sven drunk on the job again?
Pod, just come here.
Ralof, what are you doing here? Ha! I'll be right down.
Alright then, I guess I'll just stand on the stump.
Uncle Ralof, can I see your axe? How many Imperials have you killed?
Lots.
Do you really know Ulfric Stormcloak?
Hush, Frodnar. This is no time for your games. Go and watch the South Road. Come find us if you see any Imperial soldiers coming.
Aw, Mama. I want to stay and talk with Uncle Ralof.
Look at you. Almost a grown man. Won't be long before you'll be joining the fight yourself.
That's right. Don't worry, Uncle Ralof. I won't let those soldiers sneak up on you.
Yeah, you better not.
Now, Ralof, what's going on? You two look pretty well done in. I can't remember when I last slept. Where to start? Well, the news you heard about Ulfric was true. The Imperials ambushed us outside Darkwater Crossing. Like they knew exactly where we'd be. That was... 2 days ago now. We stopped in Helgen this morning, and I thought it was all over. Had us lined up to the headsman's block and ready to start chopping.
The cowards.
They wouldn't dare give Ulfric a fair trial. Treason for fighting for your own people. All of Skyrim would have seen the truth then. But then, out of nowhere, a dragon attacked.
You don't mean a real, live...
Yep, we do mean.
Hardly believe it myself. And I was there. As strange as it sounds, we'd be dead if not for that dragon. In the confusion, we managed to slip away. Are we really the first to make it to Riverwood?
Nobody else has come up the South Road today, as far as I know.
Good. Maybe we can lay up for a while. I hate to put your family in danger, Gerda, but...
Nonsense. You and your friend are welcome to stay here as long as you need. Let me worry about the Imperials. Any friend of Raylov's is a friend of mine. Here's the key to the house.
Why,
Stay
thank
as
you.
long as you like. If there is anything else you need, just let me know.
There we go. So now we have a nice little selection of items we can take, like pogfish. Yeah, you could say this stuff is pretty poggers. And garnets, and lockpicks, and potions of minor healing. Oh, and a ring of the minor knight. That is, yeah, I think we'll just be taking absolutely everything. Thank you very much.
There is something you could do for me. For all of us here. The Jarl needs to know if there's a dragon on the loose. Riverwood is defenseless. We need to get word to Jarl Balgruuf in Whiterun to send whatever troops he can. If you'll do that for me, I'll be in your debt.
Alright, well, we'll get
I
to
knew we
that
could
then.
count on you.
I ought to get back to work before I missed, but did anyone else escape? Did Ulfric?
Don't worry. I'm sure he made it out. It'll take more than a dragon to stop Ulfric Stormcloak. I'll let them into the house and, you know, show them where everything is.
Help them drink up our mead, you mean?
Actually, I'll probably just
Good
sell it.
luck, brother. I'll see you later.
Don't worry about me. I know how to lay low. I told you my sister would help us out.
Indeed you did. So, how would one get to Whiterun from here?
Just head north. Can't miss it. It's the capital of Whiterun Hold. Jarl Balgruuf still hasn't declared for one side or the other. So at least you won't run into any Imperials along the way.
Well, that sounds wonderful.
I'm
So,
going to rest up here a
guess
while
it's
before
time to
heading
kinda
the
show off the town.
Careful.
Although it is unfortunately nighttime, so most businesses are kind of closed. So, yeah, this is Girder's sawmill. And fun fact, you can actually take this woodcutter's axe, which is a rather useful tool, as you can use it to chop wood. Yeah, these wood chopping blocks. There are quite a few tavern owners who will actually just buy this wood for you, and they will give you the actual value of the wood. Unfortunately, the animation is, it's quite slow. I kinda wish you could, like, rapidly tap a button to sort of make it go faster. Because right now it's kind of... it's a bit of an insomnia cure to cut wood. But at least it's a somewhat safe and reliable way of making money. Now then. There are a lot of other things to show off, like the town has a blacksmith.
A dragon! I saw a dragon!
You probably did.
What is it now, Mother?
It was as big as the mountain and black as night. It flew right over the barrow.
Dragons now, is it? Please, Mother. If you keep on like this, everyone in town will think you're crazy. And I've got better things to do than listen to more of your fantasies.
Oh, but it's not really a fantasy.
It was a dragon. It'll kill us all and then you'll believe me.
Yeah, this guy is... yeah, Sven. Sven
You
ain't
look
the
like a
best
traveler.
guy.
Someone that has seen faraway places and heard...
Yeah, guess what? I saw a
True.
dragon.
So maybe my mother isn't crazy after all.
No, she's
You'd
not.
best tell the Jarl in Whiterun. He needs to know about this.
Yes, multiple people have asked me now. I guess I could ask him where he thinks I should buy fresh supplies.
Lucan's got a little bit of everything at the Riverwood Trader. If you need weapons or armor, see Alvor, the blacksmith.
Okay, pretty accurate advice. Guess I may as well ask him about this. You and Faendal both like the same girl?
Camilla Valerius knows I'm the best man in Riverwood. That elf is kidding himself if he thinks she would choose him over me. I've seen him sneaking over to the Riverwood Trader to speak with her when I'm not around. He's wasting his time.
Yeah, two people spending time together never blossoms into courtship. Yeah, but a bit of sarcasm there.
Is that sarcasm?
Yes, it is.
I've heard better wisecracks from Orgnar.
You probably have.
Still, you have a point. Camilla letting Faendal visit her isn't a good thing for me. Here, let me give you a particularly venomous letter. Say it's from Faendal. That should get Camilla to stop inviting the elf over.
Yeah. Sends fake later from Vaindal. Added. Yeah, this isn't the most honorable NPC in all of Skyrim. Now, the good thing is, in Skyrim, you usually have quite a few options with what you do in Quest. So, yeah. Let's go ahead and do this little... It's basically a little mini-quest. Oh, wait, are you saying... Oh, the Riverwood Trader's still open. Well, that's convenient. I thought it was nighttime, so it would be pretty much
Well,
closed.
one of us has to do something.
I said no. No adventures, no theatrics, no thief chasing.
Oh, but what if I like thief
Well,
chasing?
what are you going to do then, huh? Let's hear it.
We are done talking about this. Oh, a customer. Sorry you had to hear that.
Yeah, I have basically heard all of it. Hey there, Camilla.
Maybe you could talk some sense into my pig-headed brother.
Well, this is an awkward position to talk to you from okay. Sven wanted to trick you into believing this letter was from Faendal.
What are you talking about? What's in the letter? Oh my. He wanted me to think Faendal wrote this? Thank you for telling me the truth. Could you talk to Faendal as well? I'm sure he'll want to thank you for standing up for him.
Sure, I'll get around to talking to him. I'll just add it to my to-do list. So, yeah, we could have just handed her the letter as is and completely lied to her, but this is Skyrim. They usually give you very honorable routes of doing things. And sometimes they give you scumbag routes.
The Riverwood Trader is everything you need in a
So
general
then,
store.
what have you got for sale, our first merchant?
Take a look.
Alright, barter. Items above the divider line belong to the vendor. Items below the line belong to you. To buy or sell an item, select it and press A, or whatever you have on PlayStation and PC. I'm pretty sure it's the E key on PC. So yeah, basically, Lucan Valerius, and then all of the items below that are his. And then this line below represents the items that you're holding. Now, funny little thing about items in this game is that they don't always sell for what they say they would. So like here, this Imperial Sword will sell for 7 gold. But when you first pick it up, then let's take a look-see. It says it would sell for 23. What an interesting predicament. This Scroll of Harmony here should sell for 500 according to the game. But let's see how much he'll actually give us for said scroll. Oh my goodness, look at that. Only 161? Only 161? So there is a sort of way to kind of deal with this situation. Items will always sell for way less than it actually says it will. But you can kind of sidestep that just a little bit with one of the skills. And it's the next one that we're going to be talking about, in fact, and that is the speech skill. Sadly, right now we're sitting at a whopping 15, so we basically have no experience in it. But yeah, by taking perks in this and increasing it, then you can actually get better prices for when you're both buying items and selling them. You can also do interesting things like bribing guards or persuading NPCs with this skill, so it's quite a interesting skill to have leveled up. It has many, many different uses. But yeah, unfortunately, in order to get this skill up, we're kind of just gonna have to suffer the absolutely abysmal prices. So like, let's see if we wanted to actually buy something. So, yeah, the Iron Greatsword. It would cost us 155 to buy an Iron Greatsword. But we actually already have one, and we can see its actual value. Yeah, 50. 50, that's all it's worth. 50 gold. And he's trying to sell it to us for over 100. It is a little bit ridiculous. But unfortunately, we're just gonna have to bear with it for a moment. So, I'm definitely going to sell off the Scroll of Harmony. Because as useful as these scrolls are, gold is actually far more useful, in my opinion. because, like, a scroll, once you've used a scroll, that's kind of it. And you can only use a scroll for combat. There's never actually any point where you can use scrolls for anything else. They're just there for fighting. So I am actually going to go ahead and sell this thing off. Now, Frostbite Venom, I actually wouldn't sell off most potions. There are certain potions that make, say, certain types of skills stronger. Like, let's say you get a potion that increases your destruction magic skill, but you don't really use destruction magic. If you ran into a situation like that, I wouldn't be opposed to you actually selling the things off. But for now, we're going to keep all of these, especially our Frostbite Venom, because you never know when you're going to run into that enemy where the Venom is just enough to make them beatable. Now, food. Most food, I think, is actually not worth it. They're basically just very tiny health potions, and they ain't that good. I guess you do have the wine, which is kind of like a certain amount of burst stamina, and usually in very intense fights, burst stamina is more valuable than long-term regeneration. So maybe we'll keep the wines and meads, but all the basic food, yeah, it's going. And yeah, these tomatoes, they're valued at about 4. We can sell them for 1. So like, we sell off the tomato to him, and then say we want to buy a pack. Yeah, 12. 12. It has a value of 4. You can sell it for 1, and if you want to buy it back, it'll cost you 12. This is how the Skyrim economy starts. It's a little bit ridiculous. Oh yeah, and fun fact, there are items that straight up sell for nothing. Literally no value. We're basically just getting it out of our inventory. That's all we're really doing. Oh yeah, and by the way, gold necklace, yeah, it looked really valuable when we picked it up. 120 coins? Who would say no to that? Oh wait, no, you're only getting 39. And hide boots. I'm actually going to keep all of the enchanted stuff for the time being. Like the novice hood, novice robes, all of this can be disenchanted later on. So I'm actually going to hold on to it. Ah, yeah, I knew the studded Imperial armor would sell for a decent bit. Anything else we really want to sell off? No ingredients yet. Don't sell those off quite yet. Oh, yeah, I guess we should use our spell tomes. Oh, yeah, and our gems and stuff. Oh, nice, we got an increase in our speech. And we leveled up again. Okay. It's looking good. Life is looking alright. Yeah, sell off the garnet, and we will eventually find a tavern that will actually buy this for a decent price. So I guess for now, that's all we have to really trade around. I doubt he has anything I really want to buy at this point. I mean, I would love a grand soul gem, but, like, I don't have 1,500 coins. I don't even have that in real life. How do you expect me to have that in the game? Now then, did something happen around here? Also, I love how Lucan is just holding his mouth open. Why are you doing that? That looks so weird.
Yeah, we did have a bit of a break-in, but we still have plenty to sell. Robbers were only after one thing. An ornament, solid gold in the shape of a dragon's claw.
I could help you get the claw back.
You could?
Indeed,
I've
I
got
could.
some coin coming in from my last shipment. It's yours if you bring my claw back. Now, if you're going to get
Oh
those
yay, now we
things,
have
you should head to
another
Bleak Falls
side
So
quest.
this is your plan, Lucan?
Yes. So now you don't have to go, do you?
Oh, really? Well, I think your new helper here needs a guide.
Well, no,
I really don't.
buy the 8, fine. But only to the edge of town.
This way.
I mean, I'm coming up on a year of my life spent playing this game. Do I really need a guide? And sadly, there are many things in Skyrim that... Excuse me, door? Door. This door isn't dooring correctly. Hold on. Good thing is they have a back door. Yeah, I was just about to say, there are many things in this game that don't really work how they're intended. Camilla tends to be one of them.
And across the bridge to get to Bleak Falls Barrow. You can see it from here, though. The mountain just over the buildings.
There we go. So, yeah, Camilla
Those
will
thieves must
guide
be
you
mad
through
hiding out there.
very
Those
slow.
old crypts are filled with nothing but traps, trolls, and who knows what else.
Yes, Camilla, I'm still following. You can go forward now. That's a thing you can do if you want. No, no, no! You were moving forward! Why would you stop? Please, please, I have a video to do. I'm recording. Why would you? Okay, well, we need to go ahead and, yeah, talk to Faendal. Where is Faendal? Oh, he's in his house right now. Now, the good thing is, you can wait in this game to pass the time. Or, you can actually get some sleep and get that resting bonus. So, I shall introduce you to the Sleeping Giant Inn, where you can actually get some rest, although it does cost money, unfortunately. Ah, yes. What a lively little tavern.
Hard not to.
The ale is going bad. We need to get a new batch. Did you hear me?
Yep, ale's going bad.
I guess you don't have potatoes in your ears after all. Just make sure we get a fresh batch in soon.
Ah, yes, Delphine. We're gonna have to get
You're that
pretty
visitor
used
been
to her
poking
eventually.
around.
But I would like to rent a room. Although you can also ask her for rumors.
Word is Ulfric Stormcloak escaped from the Imperials. War is only going to get worse now.
So yeah, basically if there's any interesting thing to hear about, then you can kind of ask most tavern owners about it. And it will quite often lead you down absolutely copious amounts of side quests. But for now, we're here to rent a room. So for 10 gold, we basically get the room for a day.
Sure thing. It's yours for a day.
Okay then. And you can also ask to rent it again and they respond like this.
Are you joking? You just rented a room from me.
Alright then. Yeah, let's... Is it this room? No. Which room have I actually rented? This one? No, not that one. Oh, hi, Embry.
Yes?
Yeah, there are certain NPCs who you can just give them wine and ale, and they're just happy about it.
Got any ale or mead?
Yes, ale. Enjoy. Not giving you much else, though. And, yeah, then they just kind of drink up and they're all happy with you. Oh, so which room did I actually rent? Okay, it was this one. You could have told me about that. Now, you may notice that there are quite a few things that are showing in red and say steal from. Yeah, if you want, you can actually steal in this game. Now, you can, of course, get a bounty for it and be arrested for it. It's not exactly the most advantageous thing. Now, you can look in containers, and that's completely fine. But see, actually, taking anything is a crime. Now, of course, if we're not being detected, then we don't get any bounty. So, yeah, that is something to keep in mind. I wouldn't recommend doing it all the time, though. Sadly, I do kind of suffer from a tiny bit of kleptomania when I play this game. A very mild, though. So, yeah, we'll sleep to about 8. There we go. And you awaken feeling well rested. So if you actually go into your active effects, then you can actually see that. Yeah, all skills improve 10% faster for 8 hours. I mean, that sounds like nothing but a benefit for me. So, let's go ahead and level up, shall we? And I'm gonna put another point into health. Now then, what do we actually want to increase right now? What would be just very quickly helpful? I've already disallowed myself from taking damage increasing perks from things like one-handed and archery. But I didn't disallow myself from taking any speech perks. So, yep, buying and selling prices are 10% better. Give me that. Alright then. So, let's go ahead and head on up to Bleak Falls Barrow. As if you do that quest, like right here and right now, then you actually get a bit of an advantage in doing the main storyline quest. Like, it'll come back to be quite nice. Now, where is Faendal? There is Faendal. There is the Fane of Dalling. He is over in this direction. By the way, yes, you do actually have this little compass up top. Not very useful if you're in something like a dungeon, like Embershard Mine was. But when you're out and about, it can be pretty useful. Like, there are certain symbols, like that pickaxe and hammer. Yeah, that was the dungeon we did earlier. That arrow that's pointing in that direction, that's taking us in the direction of whatever quest we have marked to do. So yeah, do keep in mind, you have this little compass up here. Please use it. Anyway, hello Faendal. Yes, we stopped someone from being a scumbag to you.
For a Nord village? I appreciate your help. Please, take this. Some gold I've saved up from working at the mill.
Ah, yes. 25 gold. A profitable venture. Now, when you do certain quests for certain NPCs, then they will like you more.
Farewell.
And sometimes they'll actually let you take things from their home. Albeit not the most valuable things, but they'll actually let you have some things without it being considered stolen. But even better, some of them can actually be your companions for a little while. So like, for example, you can say, follow me, I need your help.
Lead the way.
And then basically they will follow you into any sort of combat scenario. And they can't really die, I don't think, unless you accidentally hit them. So do be very careful not to accidentally hit them. Now, there are many good things you can do with a follower. Like, for example, you can say, I need to trade some things with you.
What do you want me to carry?
And yeah, they'll actually carry loot if you find that your current carry weight just isn't quite enough. And you can also take certain items from them. Like, I think I'll be happy to have the key to your house. I hope you can still get into your house. If not, then, my apologies. And do I actually have... No. I don't have any armor for him, unfortunately. Now, do I have a melee weapon for him? Yeah, I guess he can take the Iron Mace. That way he's something other than an Iron Dagger to use in melee range if he wants to. So yeah, Faendal is a pretty interesting follower. He usually will use his bow and prefer to keep himself at long range. Not all followers are like that, just so you know. Oh hey, Oliver.
Ain't every day we get visitors in Riverwood.
Yeah, what have you got for sale?
Looking to protect yourself or deal some damage?
So, yeah, certain NPCs will only buy certain items, like Luke and Valerius and the Riverwood Trader. They'll happily take anything out of your inventory. They're basically a thrift shop. But, say, a blacksmith, they'll only take, you know, blacksmithy things. So, like, weapons and armor, they'll happily take. But, like, certain other items like food or random baskets you've picked up or those vile kettles, that they're not going to buy those. So do keep that in mind. Now, I do need some space, so goodbye, Iron War Axe. You served me well, but now you're still serving me as 11 coins. Also, don't particularly see why I'm holding 3 longbows. That just seems kind of overkill. And do we have any armor we want to sell off? No, because I want to sort of disenchant it once we finally get the opportunity to. Now then, need any help around the forge? Yeah, this will basically be a quick little blacksmithing tutorial.
Yes, actually. How about you smith me an iron dagger? Here's everything you need to make one. Go ahead.
There we go. So then,
next time.
You can use these blacksmith forges And they are where you can create items. So certain materials you find, like iron ingots or corundum, or other helpful metals like that, you can actually make into weapons and armor. Now, he wanted us to make a iron dagger, and now we've made exactly that.
Reminds me when I first started smithing.
Now, there are certain different classes of armor you can make. Like, you know, you start off with the ability to make hide, iron, studded, which is literally just one armor piece. I'm not even sure why this is a thing. Leather, jewelry, which, by the way, if you make jewelry with things like gold ingots and gems that you find, it actually gives you a lot of smithing XP. You can also make building materials, which, yeah, they're a thing that's not really helpful at the moment. And also miscellaneous, which consist of fishing rods, cork bowl arrows, whatever those do, and shellbug helmets, which I have never found shellbug chitin. What in the world is a shellbug? I've just never seen it in this game, like, ever. So then, Iron Dagger, Alvar, take it to him.
You looking for a new blade?
Here's your Iron Dagger.
Not bad, but it's a little dull. How about you sharpen it up? Just need a bit of metal and the grindstone over there.
Alright then. So yes, grindstones. These are another sort of smithing thing. Yeah, use the grindstones to improve weapons. All improvements require specific materials, which you can buy or find in the world. So yeah, basically, you can use this thing to sort of make whatever weapons you have more effective. So like, say, if I was to improve the Iron Dagger, then this damage goes from 4 to 6, and it gets 1 whole extra coin added to its value. Oh boy. What would I ever do? How would I ever sell an Iron Dagger without that 1 whole extra coin? So yeah, let's go and improve the Iron Dagger. Goody, goody, joy, joy. Alvar. Here's the sharpened Iron Dagger.
A giant's head like a walnut.
Yeah, there's no warhammer that can crush a giant's head like a walnut, especially not one that you have. What are you on about there, good sir?
This looks good. You put time into your blades. They'll serve you well when you need them. You want to keep helping? How about you make some armor? Let's start by tanning some leather on the rack.
Alright then, so the tanning rack, easily the least useful smithing item. I wouldn't even really consider it smithing. Also, kinda strange to be tanning leather when you're a Khajiit. Just a little off-seeming. Just something I noticed. Okay, well, either way, we're bringing it to Alvar.
Looking for a new blade?
Here's that leather you need.
Good. A lot of weapons and armor need leather for straps, fittings, that kind of thing. Let's see if you can make a hide helmet. Here's the rest of what you need.
Alright then. Now, here's something I've always kind of wondered. Hide. So that gives you 26 points of armor, has 50 value, and weighs 5. So that's like the hide armor sorts of things, and we need to make a hide helmet. What about the leather? Okay. So leather seems to overall weigh more. Does leather take more to make? Oh, I think that's it. Yeah, okay. So just so you know, there's no point to ever really make or wear hide armor when leather is basically just better versions of it. They just happen to weigh a little bit more and take more to make. Yeah, okay. Always kind of wondered about that. Either way, hide helmet. Now we shall bring hide helmet to Alvar. Hello there.
Iron or steel is what you need. Leave that fancy elven stuff to the elves.
Oh, but the elven stuff is actually quite good. Like, elven armor and weapons are actually, like, kind of ideal to have.
Huh. I should hire you to be my assistant at this rate. Let's improve the fit. Take this leather to the workbench over there.
Alrighty then.
Until next time.
The workbench. So basically a workbench is, yeah, you don't really need to explain it. a workbench is like a grindstone, but for armor. So, like, we improved the hide helmet. Right now it gives 13 points of armor. Now it gives 14. So, yeah, basically the same as the grindstone, except it just works on armor. And while we're here, let's improve our Stormcloak cuirass, since it's kind of what we're wearing. Yeah, that's 2 more points of armor. Okay,
You looking for a new
here's
blade?
your hide helmet.
You have talent. Keep working at your craft, and you'll be a fine smith one day.
Why, thank you.
Why don't you keep that dagger and helmet? Maybe you'll remember me when you're making Skyforge steel, huh?
Okay then. So that's another mini quest done and thing shown off. So the smithing skill, what does that skill really consist of? Well, basically, you improve the smithing skill by making weapons and armor and improving them like we have. And its perks are pretty powerful, as they basically let you make better tiers of gear. So, like iron armor and weapons, you know, they're pretty nice and all. But steel is basically iron, but better. A lot more expensive to make, but it's definitely better. And as you increase your smithing skill, then you'll be able to take different perks, like dwarven smithing, that lets you make dwarven items and armor, and elven smithing, which lets you make elven, which is, by the way, some pretty incredible armor in my opinion. And also advanced armors, which is basically my favorite of all of them. Heck, you can even take an arcane blacksmith perk, which can let you improve magical weapons and armor, because, fun fact, you usually can't. So yeah, smithing skill. It can be pretty powerful to have. Maybe not the best skill tree, but it's a pretty dang good one. So then, do I have any other mini-quest here in Riverwood before I leave? No, it doesn't appear I do. So I figure it's probably going to be more efficient overall to do this side quest first before doing Before the Storm. Yeah, I know, you know, Girder's kind of helped me out, but, like, I want to do this efficiently, and smartly, and stylishly. So I figure I'm going to go ahead and do the Golden Claw first. So we will make this quest not active, and make the miscellaneous ones not active either. Oh yeah, I almost forgot about showing off Girder's house. Yeah, she did kind of invite me into the place. Kind of got a little bit sidetracked there, didn't I? Yeah, it tends to happen. Alright then, Girder's house. It's a neat little place. Admit it, it's a little bit cramped. It's kind of freaking cramped in here. Hi there, Hod.
So you saw a dragon, did you? Tell me, what was it like? As big as a house?
Yeah, no, more like big as an inn. Yeah, that's about it. Although his reaction to this one was pretty funny, but we're gonna tell him, yeah, no, it was just really freaking big.
Well, I'll be. That'd be a sight to see. Not that I actually want to see one, understand. I hope that dragon stays far away from here.
Oh, don't worry, you'll probably get an opportunity. So, what are these chests saying? Okay, a ton of gold. They won't let me take an ingot, though. Kind of funny, since this ingot is worth 45 gold, and they just let me take 83. Yeah, kind of wondering what the logic is about that. Good thing is, we have a lot of different bits of wine we can take. Ooh, and also fish. Yeah, seared slaughterfish. I mean, it's not a proper Khajiit playthrough until you've eaten some sort of fish. So, yep, seared slaughterfish, down the hatch. Not that we're actually wounded or anything or need it, but, you know, it's there. Wait, what? Why did you hide a bit of seared slaughterfish under the plate? That kind of defeats the purpose of the plate. I mean... why exactly? Okay. Hello there, Ralof.
We'll show those faithless dogs who this land belongs to.
Yeah, I'm sure we will. May as well explain why they were being executed.
Seriously? You don't know? That was Ulfric Stormcloak himself.
Oh, right. Ulfric Stormcloak. Yeah, let's go with that one.
Right. The leader of our fight against the Empire. I forget that most people don't know what he looks like, except for those Imperial wanted posters.
How did you end up as Imperial prisoners?
I was assigned to Ulfric's guard. We were on our way to Darkwater Crossing in the south of Eastmarch. The Imperials were waiting for us. As pretty an ambush as I ever saw. We were outnumbered 5 to 1 at least. Ulfric ordered us to stop fighting. Didn't want us all to die for nothing, I guess.
Interesting.
I thought they were taking us south to Cyrodiil. Parade us in front of the Emperor. But then, we stopped in Helgen. And you know the rest.
Yeah, ironically, General Tullius, the guy who was trying to get Ulfric Stormcloak executed, he actually would have been better off taking the long way. Because then maybe the dragon would have popped up. Or maybe it would have caught up anyway. Not too sure. So, you really think I should join up with the Ulfric Stormcloak?
Damn right. You don't have to be a Nord to fight for Skyrim's freedom. You should come to Windhelm with me and join the fight to free Skyrim. You've seen the true face of the Empire here today. If anyone will know what the coming of the dragon means, it's Ulfric.
You make a good case. Maybe I will go to Windhelm.
I hope so. Skyrim needs people like you to fight for her freedom. Come on, you better get moving.
At a later date. Yeah, there you go, sit down. So, I think it's been a good episode so far. We'll go ahead and do that Golden Claw quest in the future. But for now, we're just gonna sit down and relax. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and if you did, then consider liking and subscribing. Especially subscribing, as it motivates me to make a lot more videos like this. And again, thank you to everyone for all the support that the first episode of this walkthrough has gotten. I will definitely be making more if I keep seeing stuff like that. So, anyway, have a good day, and I'll see you in the next episode.